Do you have a favorite training plan that you found or stumbled upon in a magazine site or seminar, Y3T, FST7? Yeah, everything works. And I admit that I've always been a little bit biased in that I've always done less volume compared to most conventional bodybuilding training programs. When I was 13 or so, and I lifted weights kind of intermittently, I very early in my life got a copy of Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. And I remember exercising at the YMCA. My mom or my dad would take me. And those routines beat me up. And the routine that I really found that worked well for a long time, earlier in my life, was called Max OT. It was a lot of just basic compound lifts, almost entirely free weight movements, 4 to 6 repetitions, for the most part, anywhere from 3 to total 7 sets per body part. And each body part was essentially trained once per week. And I followed that routine for a long time. And a lot of my lifts were really, really good, but I could never get past certain thresholds. And like my bench press was really never that great. So my bench, I could never get it past 230. And I know for some people that's a lot of weight. For some people for someone that lifts a lot of weights, that's really 230 is not a lot on the bench. And that's a combination of me having longer arms. Perhaps a lot of that was execution as well. But it wasn't until later in my life when I ended up trying high intensity training. And I've told the story before about what set me down that path, that I was very quickly, within a few months of even further reducing my volume and frequency, that I was able to push through that number quite easily. So my best bench press was incline was 275 for 3 reps, but they were 5 or 6 seconds up or down. It was very, very slow repetitions. So who knows how that would actually equate to a flat bench or more conventional repetitions. But the thing is, everything works. And I know that I'm a huge proponent of limited volume, limited frequency, kind of taking more of the minimal effective dose approach to exercise. But there are guys that build incredible physiques using virtually every single type of training routine. And as long as you're training, progressively and intensely and consistently at a volume and frequency that you can recover from, as long as you're meeting those 5 criteria, any routine that you follow is going to produce results. Now, not all of those routines are equally effective. Not all of those routines are equally safe or productive. But any routine can produce results. And that's because every single weightlifting routine at least adheres to the same basic fundamental principles of physiology that produce those positive changes in size and strength to begin with. So Max OT is kind of what really did it for me, at least for a number of years. And then later I trained Mike Mentzer heavy duty. And since training heavy duty style, I basically reached a point where I didn't want to do bench, squat, or deadlifts anymore, because the weight that I was using, I didn't think the reward was worth the risk. And that's what led me to trying more of the super slow style of exercise. And I've been training that way for probably at least 5 years now. And at least for me, I've found that I've had no decrease in strength and certainly no decrease in muscle mass. If anything, I've continued to build muscle mass, slowing the repetitions down and further reducing the volume and frequency with which I train.